Welcome to It's Not Just Menopause, the podcast that empowers you to navigate midlife with confidence through real talk, root cause insights, and no BS strategies that actually work. If you're dealing with fatigue, stubborn weight, brain fog, or just feeling off and overlooked, this show is for you. Discover what's really going on with your hormones and why it's not just about estrogen. Each episode breaks down what your doctor didn't explain, the internet got wrong, and what your body's been trying to tell you all along. From stress and metabolism to nervous system support and functional nutrition, we'll cover the tools that help you feel more like yourself, again, without restrictive diets, overwhelming plans, or hormone hype. I'm your host, Cindy Stickle, functional nutrition practitioner and certified menopause specialist. I'm here to guide you through the midlife noise so you can stop guessing, get the clarity you deserve, and finally take back control of your health. If you've ever felt dismissed, overwhelmed, or like your body just isn't responding the way it used to, you're in the right place. Let's rewrite the menopause story without the fluff. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of It's Not Just Menopause. Today we're talking about something that I hear all the time from women in perimenopause. My symptoms are all over the place. One day I'm exhausted, the next day I'm wired. One day I can think clearly, and the next day I can't remember what I walked into the room for. My mood swings are unpredictable, my weight won't budge, my sleep is a mess. And the question I always get is, what is happening? Is this normal? Am I losing it? And here's what I want you to know. No, you're not losing it. And yes, there is a reason it's happening. And your symptoms aren't random. They just feel random because you're missing the pattern underneath. And once you see the pattern, everything starts to make sense. So today I'm walking you through what's really going on, why your body is doing this, and why it actually makes perfect sense once you understand the real driver behind it all. So let's dive in. I want to paint you a picture. You wake up exhausted even though you slept 7 hours. You drag yourself through the morning drinking coffee just to feel semi-human. By 2 p.m. you crash. You're foggy. You can't focus. You're irritable with everyone around you. Then by 8 p.m. you're suddenly wired. Your brain won't turn off. You can't fall asleep even though you are exhausted. The next day, completely different. Maybe you wake up with decent energy. Maybe your mood is fine. Maybe you feel almost, normal. And you think, okay, maybe I'm fine. Maybe it was just a bad day. But then 2 days later, you're back to exhausted, foggy, and snapping at your husband over something tiny. Or maybe your symptoms look different. Maybe it's the weight. You're eating well, you're moving your body, you're doing everything you're supposed to do, but the scale won't move. Your clothes feel tighter. Your belly is bloated no matter what you eat. And you can't figure out what you're doing wrong. Or maybe it's the mood swings. 1 minute you're fine. The next minute you're crying over a commercial. Or you're so irritable you want to scream at everybody in your house. And you don't even know where it's coming from. It just happens. Or maybe it's the sleep. Some nights you fall asleep fine but wake up at 3 a.m. and can't get back to sleep. Other nights you just can't fall asleep at all. And then some nights, randomly, you get great sleep and you wake up thinking, see, I'm fine. It was just stress. And then the next night you're back to staring at the ceiling at 2 a.m. Here's what all of this feels like. It's unpredictable, right? It feels confusing. Feels like your body is broken or something, it's working against you. And the worst part, you start to think it's you. You start to think, maybe I'm just not disciplined enough. Maybe I'm not trying hard enough. Maybe I'm just falling apart. And every time you go to the doctor, they run labs and everything comes back, normal. So you're left thinking, if my labs are normal, why do I feel like this? What am I missing? And that's the thing. You're not missing effort. You're not missing willpower. You're missing the pattern. Because from where you're standing, your symptoms look random. but they're not. They're all connected, and they all point back to the same thing. So here's the pattern. All of these symptoms, the exhaustion, the brain fog, the mood swings, the weight that won't move, the sleep issues, the bloating, the irritability, they're not separate problems. They're all symptoms of the same root issue, and that issue is nervous system dysregulation. So let me explain what I mean. Your nervous system has two main states. There's your parasympathetic nervous system, which is your rest and digest mode. And this is when your body feels safe. This is when you can sleep, digest food properly, regulate your mood, think clearly, let go of the weight. And then there's your sympathetic nervous system, or your fight or flight mode. And this is your stress response. This is what kicks in when your body perceives danger. And here's what's happening in perimenopause and menopause, right? Your nervous system is stuck in fight or flight, not because you're in actual danger, but because your body is interpreting the hormone fluctuations, the life stress, the lack of sleep, the blood sugar crashes, the inflammation, all of it as threats. And when your body thinks you're in danger, it does what it's designed to do. It prioritizes survival. It floods your system with cortisol and adrenaline to keep you awake, alert, and ready to fight or run. It shuts down non-essential functions like digestion, deep sleep, fat burning, right? Because those aren't necessary when you're trying to survive. It holds on to weight because your body thinks there's a famine or a crisis and it needs to conserve energy. It keeps your blood sugar unstable because cortisol spikes blood sugar to give you quick energy, but then insulin rushes in and crashes it again. It disrupts your sleep because you're in danger. If you're in danger, right, like your body thinks, your body doesn't want you sleeping deeply. It wants you alert. It makes you irritable and emotionally reactive because when you're in fight or flight, your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for rational thinking and emotional regulation, goes offline. You're running on your amygdala, which is reactive and emotional. So let me connect the dots for you. That brain fog, that's your body running on stress hormones instead of stable, consistent energy. Your brain needs glucose to function, but when your blood sugar is spiking and crashing all day because of cortisol, your brain doesn't have steady fuel. So you feel foggy, slow, and forgetful. The mood swings, your nervous system can't regulate emotions when it's stuck in overdrive. When you're in fight or flight, you don't have access to the calm, rational part of your brain. You're reactive. You're emotional. Everything feels bigger and harder to manage. The exhaustion, you're running on adrenaline and cortisol all day, every day. That's not sustainable. Your adrenals are working overtime. Your body is burning through energy just to keep you upright. So even though you're wired, you're also exhausted. You're running on fumes. The weight that won't move, your body thinks you're in danger. It's holding on to every calorie because it doesn't know when the next meal is coming or when the crisis will be over. It's not being stubborn. Again, it's trying to protect you from dying. The sleep issues, your body doesn't want you sleeping deeply when it thinks you're in danger. So it keeps you in lighter stages of sleep, or it wakes you up in the middle of the night when cortisol spikes, or it keeps you wired at night even though you're exhausted during the day. So all of these symptoms, every single one, trace back to the same thing. Your nervous system is stuck in survival mode. And here's the kicker. You didn't do anything wrong. This isn't a character flaw. It's not lack of discipline. It's not because you're not trying hard enough. It's because your body is doing exactly what it's designed to do when it perceives a threat. The problem is your body can't tell the difference between a real threat, like a lion chasing you, or chronic stress. So the hormonal fluctuations in perimenopause, it's a threat. The blood sugar crashes from skipping meals or under eating. It's a threat. The inflammation in your body from stress, lack of sleep, or gut issues, a threat. The mental and emotional stress of your job, your family, your to-do list, it's a threat. All of it adds up. And your nervous system responds the only way it knows how, by staying in fight or flight. So why doesn't anyone tell you this? Why do you go to the doctor and they run labs and everything comes back normal and you're sent home with no answers? Here is why. Most doctors, even hormone specialists, are looking at hormones, thyroid, blood work. And those things matter. They are important, but they're not looking at your nervous system. They're not asking you, is your body stuck in fight or flight? Is your cortisol chronically elevated? They're not even testing for that. Is your nervous system dysregulated? I'm sure the doctors don't even know what the nervous system is. Before we get back to today's episode, I've got a quick question for you. Feel like your body's in chaos, but your labs are normal? You're not crazy, you're not broken, and you're definitely not alone. If you've been told it's just menopause or to wait it out, it's time for real answers. Take my free quiz, What's Really Driving Your Menopause Symptoms. In under 2 minutes, you'll uncover your top hidden stressor and get my free guide, The Menopause Stress Fix, sent straight to your inbox. Head to cindystickle.com/quiz or click the link in the show notes. If you're doing everything right, but still feel like a mess, this quiz is your next step. All right, let's get back to today's episode. They're looking at estrogen, progesterone, TSH, fasting glucose. And if those numbers are in range, even if they're at the low end of normal or trending in the wrong direction, they'll tell you you're fine. Yes, there is normal on the lab report, and then there's optimal range. And that, me as a functional nutritionist, I can tell you when you get your labs done if it's in the optimal range or not. But you don't feel fine, right, with all this going on. You feel exhausted, foggy, irritable, stuck. And that disconnect is so maddening because you start to think, well, if my labs are normal, then maybe this is just in my head. Maybe I am just not trying hard enough, right? No, here's the truth. Your labs can be normal and your nervous system can still be completely dysregulated. Your thyroid can be functioning. Your estrogen and progesterone can be within range. Your fasting glucose can be fine. And you can still be stuck in fight or flight. Cortisol testing exists, okay, but most doctors don't run it unless you specifically ask, like I mentioned before. And even then, they're usually only looking at the morning cortisol, not your cortisol rhythm throughout the day. And the nervous system doesn't show up in these standard tests. That's why you need the special ones. I had the Dutch hormone test, and that was a 24-hour period. So it's way more involved. And so the doctors will miss it. And they miss the fact that your cortisol is spiking and crashing all day. They miss the fact that your body is stuck in survival mode. They miss the fact that your symptoms, the exhaustion, the brain fog, the mood swings, the weight gain, are all downstream effects of a dysregulated nervous system. And even if they do mention stress, they're not giving you a protocol to actually regulate it. They're saying you need to reduce stress. No kidding. But they're not telling you how because they don't know how. Okay. They're not explaining what nervous system regulation actually means because they don't know what that means or how to do it in a practical, sustainable way because they don't know. Okay. Not like I know. So you leave the appointment feeling dismissed, confused, and like you're on your own because you really are until you find someone like me, right? And here's the other piece. Even if you go to a functional medicine practitioner or a hormone specialist and they do talk about cortisol and stress, they often jump straight to supplements or protocols without addressing the nervous system first. They'll give you adaptogens or magnesium or melatonin. Now, we all should be on magnesium, but it's not a one pill, magic pill where it's going to fix everything. And they all, like I said, those all help. They have their place. But if your nervous system is stuck in fight or flight, those supplements are just Band-Aids or don't even work at all. You have to address the root issue. You have to get your body out of survival mode, Because here's what I see all the time. Women come to me and they've tried everything, at least they think they have. They've done hormone replacement, or like me, they're on bioidentical hormone replacement, which it is working for me, but it's just one tool. They've tried macros. I'm a macro coach, so yes, you need macros sometimes. They've cut out things that they think they don't need. They've tried, hundreds of dollars of supplements a month, and they still feel stuck. Not because those things don't work, but because their nervous system was never regulated first. Their body was still in fight or flight. It was still perceiving threat. And when your body thinks you're in danger, nothing else works the way it should. Hormones don't start getting optimized, right? They can never be in balance because they're always in fluctuation. And when you're losing them, you can't balance them. But your metabolism won't respond. Sleep doesn't improve because your body is too busy trying to keep you alive, right? It thinks you are dying. And that's the missing piece. That's that pattern I was talking about. So what happens when you actually regulate your nervous system first? What happens when you get your body out of fight or flight and into a state where it feels safe? Everything changes. Not overnight, not with a magic pill, but slowly, steadily, your body starts to respond again. And here's what that looks like. Your energy stabilizes, okay? Instead of waking up exhausted and dragging through the day, you start to feel like you have steady, predictable energy. You're not crashing at 2 p.m. You're not relying on coffee just to function. You have energy that actually carries you through your day without feeling like you're running on fumes. Your brain fog lifts. You can think clearly again. You can focus. You can remember things. You're not standing in the kitchen wondering why you walked in there for, right? You're not losing your train of thought mid-sentence. Your brain has the fuel it needs to function because your blood sugar is stable and your body isn't running on cortisol anymore. Your moods even out, right? You're not crying over commercials. You're not snapping at your husband over nothing. You feel calmer, more grounded, more like yourself. You can handle stress without completely falling apart. You can regulate your emotions again. And your sleep improves. You fall asleep more easily. You stay asleep. You wake up feeling rested. Your body isn't waking up at 3 a.m. with cortisol spikes anymore. Your nervous system feels safe enough to let you rest deeply. Or your body actually responds to other things you're doing. This is a big one. When your nervous system is regulated, your body can finally respond to the diet, exercise, and hormones the way it's supposed to. You start losing weight, not because you're restricting more, don't ever restrict, but because your body finally feels safe to let it go. Actually, eating more helps you lose weight. Your metabolism starts working again. Your hormones start optimizing and leveling out and not doing like nosedives. They never balance. Just remember that. Your digestion improves. Everything you've been doing, right? The clean eating. I'm a clean eating coach, so I'm all for the no toxins, right? The workouts, the supplements, everything starts to work because your body isn't in survival mode anymore. It's not holding on to every calorie. It's not prioritizing survival over everything else. It feels safe, feels supported, and that changes everything. I see this with clients all the time. They come to me after trying everything. They're frustrated. They feel stuck. They think their body is broken. And we start with nervous system regulation. Not the woo. No. This is all science-backed, okay? And I introduce macros at a high level, protein, carbs, and healthy fats for perimenopause on up. Not necessarily tracking, but you need to be aware, though, of what your body needs in the macros. I don't hand out meal plans. I hope if you want one, you create one with your own favorite meals. I don't give them to you. Oh my God, no intense workouts ever again. Okay, strength training and low impact cardio for sure. We start with getting their body out of fight or flight. And within a few weeks, they start to see the shifts. Their energy improves, their mood stabilizes, their sleep gets better. And then once their body feels safe, we layer in the nutrition piece. Don't forget, I've got a lot of background in nutrition. We dial in their protein. We stabilize their blood sugar. We support their metabolism. And that's when the bigger transformations happen, because the foundation is there. Their body is ready, finally, to respond. So here's what I want you to hear, okay? And I'm sure you're tired of hearing this, that your body isn't broken. Yeah, it's not. Menopause isn't something to fix, right? Your body isn't resisting you. Your body is doing exactly what it's designed to do when it thinks you're in danger. It's trying to protect you. It's trying to keep you alive. And the problem is it's stuck in that mode, right? And that's not your fault. You didn't cause this. You didn't do anything wrong. You've been doing everything right, eating well, exercising, trying to manage stress, and your body still hasn't responded. Not because you're not trying hard enough, but because your body didn't feel safe enough to respond. And it's not a willpower issue or a stress issue. There is a lot of hidden stress, though, that you don't know is things that are causing you stress that you don't think are, that we touch on as well. But it's not a discipline problem. It's a nervous system problem. And once you understand that, and once you see the pattern, everything shifts. Because now you're not fighting your body anymore. You're working with it. You're giving it what it actually needs. Safety, support, regulation, instead of more effort, more restriction, and more pressure. And that's when transformation becomes possible. Think about it like this. If you were trying to fix individual apps on your phone when the operating system was glitching, you could restart those apps all day long, but nothing would actually work until you rebooted the entire system. That's what nervous system regulation is. It's rebooting the system. It's getting your body out of survival mode so everything else can function the way it's supposed to. And once that happens, everything you've been trying to do, the diet, the exercise, the supplements, the hormones, all of it starts to work because your body is finally ready. So if you're listening to this, okay, that makes sense, but what do I actually do about it? Here's what I want you to know. Regulating your nervous system doesn't mean you have to meditate for an hour every day or completely overhaul your life. Nope, like I said, it's not the woo, it's the science part. It's about small, strategic shifts that signal safety to your body. It's about resets throughout your day that tell your body it's okay to come out of fight or flight. It's about eating in a way that stabilizes your blood sugar so your body isn't perceiving constant threats from energy crashes. It's about movement that supports your body instead of adding more stress to it. And it's about understanding what's happening so you can make informed choices instead of just guessing about it. If you're thinking, wait, that's me. That's exactly what's happening. I need to know more. I am walking you through the exact protocol to use that you can use to reverse this pattern in my free live workshop on February 17th. Okay, it's called It's Not Just Hormones, Why Nothing's Working in Perimenopause, and the 3 things you need now, right? Especially if you're like snapping at your partner or surviving on coffee all day, right? Or waking up exhausted even though you got a lot of sleep. In this workshop, we're going to talk about why your body hasn't been responding even when you're doing everything right. The hidden stress patterns sabotaging your hormones, your metabolism, and your energy. And what regulation actually means and how to calm your system without uprooting your entire life. And this episode is dropping on February 16th. So tomorrow, when you hear this, if you're hearing it on the day it goes live, is my workshop. So the link will be in the show notes because it's free and there will be a recording, okay? But I just want you to hear this truth, that no matter how clean you eat, how hard you work out, which too hard backfires in perimenopause, and how many supplements you take, if your body doesn't feel safe, nothing will work. And that's the step most women don't even know they're missing. So if you want to finally understand what's really going on and get a plan that actually works with your body instead of against it, please, please, please sign up for my workshop. It's free, it's live, and yes, like I said, there will be a replay if you can't make it. So I'll have the link in the show notes for you to sign up. And I just wanted to thank you for listening today. Just your symptoms aren't random. Your body isn't broken. It's not failing. And you're not doing anything wrong. You're just missing the pattern. And once you see it, everything starts to make sense. So if this resonated, please share it with a friend who needs to hear it. And I will see you tomorrow at the workshop, and I will be in your headphones next week. Thank you for tuning into It's Not Just Menopause. I hope today's episode gave you real clarity about what's actually going on in your body and reminded you that it's not just your hormones and it's definitely not your fault. If you found value in this conversation, make sure to follow the show so you never miss an episode. You can also connect with me on Instagram at Cindy Stickle Nutrition or head to cindystickle.com for more resources and personalized support on your menopause and midlife health journey. Until next time, keep questioning what you've been told and trust that your body is not broken. You just need the truth and the tools that actually work.